When you hear the word art, you probably think of paintings like these. But art is about more than just painting. It's sculptures, music, dance, it's theater and film. It's things like sports and architecture, and yes, even Minecraft. Art is about creativity and expression. It is individuals utilizing their talents and abilities to tell a story or make you feel something. Minecraft gives you the freedom to make art in whatever way you can imagine. In my survival series, I'm inspired by the art of architecture, but I also have been heavily inspired by some of the most famous works of art in the history of the world. I've been very blessed in my life to travel the world and seen some great works by some of the most important artists. I'm struck by the talent and vision that these painters have, and I want to try to bring these works into Minecraft. This isn't always possible in survival, so I wanted to start a new creative series, Art But Make It Minecraft. Inspired by one of my favorite accounts on the internet, Art But Make It Sports, I want to recreate some of my favorite paintings in Minecraft and test my limits as a builder. In this episode, we will be recreating possibly the most recognizable painting in the world, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch artist born in 1853. Though Van Gogh's mother was an artist, he never dreamed of becoming one himself. He started working at an art dealership owned by his uncle at just 15 due to his family's financial struggles. He ended up throwing it all away after a mental break suffered following a rejection from a woman he was pursuing in England. This event kicked off a lifelong struggle with mental health and depression. Van Gogh served as a priest for a while before disagreements with the clergy forced him to leave the service. In 1880, Van Gogh decided to pursue art full-time. Despite us knowing his name and his works today, Van Gogh did not see much success in his lifetime. This led to financial stress and self-doubt, causing Van Gogh to suffer from many mental breaks, one of which he famously cut off his ear as a sign of commitment to a woman who ultimately did not feel the same about him. Despite all the struggle, Van Gogh gained a lot of comfort in art. In his short career as an artist, he created more than 2,100 works. Arguably one of his most famous is Starry Night. This painting that I am recreating depicts Van Gogh's impression of the French countryside where he stayed before his death in 1890. The colors in this oil painting are unique, capturing a swirling sky over a quaint town. It is hard to truly capture the brush strokes and the intricacies of this painting, but I'll try to reproduce it the best I can. You may have noticed that I've changed my skin. I felt it was time to move on from the jacked Papa Smurf look. I randomly found that skin on Skindex years ago and just kind of rolled with it when I started this channel. My new skin is something I put together myself. It's an artist wearing a painting smock or bib or whatever you want to call it, covered in paint splotches, and the arms of the skin are covered in designs. I wanted something that I could call my own. And with this new series that's focusing on art, I thought now would be a great time to debut it. While we're watching this time-lapse together, I'll let you in on a bit of my process. As you may know, I'm very new to this whole content creation thing. I just have a few videos up. I'm glad y'all have been enjoying them so far. But I have no prior experience in video editing or making any form of entertainment. I started as a complete beginner, just teaching myself everything through trial and error and watching dozens of YouTube tutorials. As I have a full-time job and other responsibilities with my family, church, and friends, I don't have time to sit down and take an editing course or something that would improve my skills all at once. So my goal with every piece of content that I produce is to learn one new skill. At first, it was just how to use editing software. Then it was how to use replay mod, or how to do a new video effect. This video has a few new tricks that I'm trying. Since this build is so large, I figured it was time to learn TaxxiCab. I've used World Edit in the past, but felt like it wouldn't serve my needs here. I'm still pretty new to Axiom, As you can see, I messed up a few times as I tested out the different tools, but over time I got better with it. I don't think I could have done this project without Axiom. All the color picking tools, the gradient painter, noise mask, copy and paste tools, and all the little things I learned along the way helped me pull this build together. I also decided to learn to use Flashback. I've been using Replay Mod. I heard that Flashback is good to have as well. I love the configurability of Flashback Mod. I feel like it's a lot better and it's more intuitive to my workflow. I will definitely be taking advantage of these tools going forward. Okay, back to art for a minute. So I fell in love with art when I was in college. I spent a semester studying in Greece and Italy, and it really opened my eyes to the world of art. I had never really considered myself a creative person before then, mostly focusing on playing sports and video games. That semester in two of the most historic countries in the world really opened my eyes to art and why it is so important. We see art sometimes go for millions of dollars at auctions, and it seems absurd to us. And let's be real, it is kind of absurd. But I get why people place importance on art. I don't have a single work that awakened this curiosity, but seeing artists like Caravaggio, Bernini, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and the other Ninja Turtles inspired me to appreciate the beauty around me. I started to take notice of small details in the art and appreciate their impact. I started to look at architecture differently. I had a greater appreciation for movies and TV shows, and I even started to see more of it in Minecraft. I don't want to sound like an art snob, and I know it's kind of maybe coming across that way, but art can have a real impact on us. Vincent van Gogh struggled with seeing the beauty in his life around him, yet he still found some form of comfort in his art. There's a lesson to be learned there. Find the beauty in your life. If you can't find it, you just aren't looking hard enough. We live in a beautiful world, and it is easy to find inspiration in the simple things, like a sunset, or a great play by your favorite athlete, or a family member singing along to the radio on a car trip. The beauty of this world is all around us. We just have to be willing to see the blessings that are there. As we're looking at the mountains and skies here, I want to talk a little bit about this project. It was a lot of fun, but man, it was a beast. Even with Axiom and all the tools, this took me about 15 hours to do. There was a lot of trial and error. As you can see, I had to redo the church because I just felt like it wasn't up to snuff. I had to do a lot of, I would pick a palette and then put it up there and wasn't quite happy with it, so I'd have to redo it. And even just finding the depth for the background. I was going to do a straight line to try and cover it and make it cover the whole screen, but it was tough. So this rounded shape, I had to use like a circle calculator. It was like 175 blocks wide, which was a bit ridiculous, but I like it. Hopefully y'all like this too. Like I said, this was a big undertaking, and I put a lot of effort into trying to capture the vibe of Starry Night. I started off wanting to do like an exact pixel for pixel recreation of Starry Night, but it kind of evolved into something a bit different. And I really like it, and you'll see at the end the final product. But yeah, I'll probably change how I do things moving forward with this series, which I hope I can continue. I really enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoy it. It's so funny looking back at these time lapses and kind of seeing how rough it looked in some parts. But this build was done to be viewed from one perspective. So I used FreeCam and I set up a little tripod in one spot, and I would keep switching back and forth from my character to the tripod perspective, so I could make it look how it would like viewing it in a frame, and the frame was just my monitor. So that's why it seems kind of ridiculous that I'm going so high, but I had to fill the whole vertical space. As we're getting towards the end here, I just want to say thank you for watching to this point. This was something a little different, and I'm very glad that I was able to tackle this size of a project. You may have watched my other series, Papa Smurf's World, and that's a survival-only series, so it was fun to jump into creative and kind of just do my own thing and not be limited by block type or the scale. It was nice to just kind of fly around and use some creative tools. But if you have any pieces of art that you want me to recreate in this series, drop them in the comment section below. And that could be anything. I've done a painting here, but it'd be cool to attempt to rebuild a statue or a particular building. I know I kind of do buildings in my survival world. I've recreated the Dakota, which is an apartment building in New York, and I've also recreated the Hungary State Opera, I believe it's called. But if there's something that you want to see me build here, I'm more than happy to do it. Yeah, so you may be able to tell, but my script that I wrote for this episode kind of ran out. This is kind of my first attempt at making a bit more scripted content. If you've watched my survival series, obviously that's not scripted. I kind of just go into the world and talk at the microphone. I enjoyed a little bit more scripted this time, but obviously my scripting needs a bit more work. But that's okay. I've talked about it before on Papa Smurf's World, but sometimes when you are going through a creative process, and I would definitely consider content creation to be a creative process, sometimes you just need to throw something down and see what works. And this project was definitely one of those. It was a lot of put something down on the canvas, back up and see what it looks like, make adjustments as needed. I did that a lot, and it was good for me. I think to be able to improve as a builder, you have to try things out. You have to see what works, take a step back, and sometimes you have to emulate other things, and that does not mean copy. Do not copy things. Do not copy other people's builds. But you can take inspiration from things. I took inspiration from Starry Night and kind of made my own thing out of it. And it helped me to explore with different colors and different building strategies. And yeah, I think overall, it's going to help me as a builder going forward. And I think the same, experimenting with different content styles, going from a more guess, raw in my survival series to more scripted here. It's going to help me improve my content for y'all. So thank you for bearing with me and just listening to me riff for the last few minutes. We'll wrap up here, and then you'll get to see the final product here in a second. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. This took a lot of effort, but I think it was well worth it. The final product is great. This is one of my favorite builds I've ever done. It really was a challenge for me to think of blocks with color and shape rather than just the block texture. It was a big challenge, and it stretched me as a builder, and I think it will improve my works going forward. But like I said earlier, if you have any work of art that you want to see recreated on Art But Make It Minecraft, leave it in the comment below, and I would love to recreate it. So if you enjoyed this video and think it deserves a like, please leave that below. If you want to see more content from me, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much, everyone.